You are watching the WD Broadcasting Network, your home for racing highlights, iRacing broadcast, commentary, and more. But here comes Jeremiah Woods. He wants to win in the Street Stock Showdown. He's hungry to get up to the front. If you are a fan of short track racing, the WD Broadcasting Network is your home for racing content in real life and on the sim. Follow the WD Broadcasting Network on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And don't forget to hit that red subscribe button on YouTube to never miss an upload. Top spot away, Terzak once again into the back bumper. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the show. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the WD Broadcasting Network, and welcome to the Five Flags Speedway. We are ready to go in race 13 of the 15 race season for, I believe, the Pack Street Stock Showdown. Going to be a fun 74 laps here tonight. We made a little error with the session, and we are running 74 laps, so 74 laps will be the distance. Right now, qualifying taking place. Cole Baxter, Brandon Elvis going identical lap times. And the track has slowed down just a little bit. So we'll see who is able to take the top spot. Currently, it's Cole Baxter in the 19. And Connor Knowlton jumps up to the top of the board in the 24 machine. 022 puts the 24 of Knowlton to the top. Gavin Gardner in the 55 jumps up to the top spot on lap number 1. He'll try for a little bit more. Some insurance on lap 2. Gardner was our winner in the season opener at North Wilkesboro, and it looks like he will shut it down on his second lap around. The driver that qualified top of the board last week at the Oswego Mini Oval, his third career Street Stock Showdown pole. Driver out of Yorktown, Indiana. This is Carter Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth, a two-time winner in Street Stock Showdown competition. We'll see what he can do in his qualifying run at Five Flags. He was fast in practice. He was doing some practice earlier on this evening as well. We'll see what he can do across the line. First lap time for Hollingsworth, top of the board into the 17-second bracket, a 17.988. And he will shut it down after lap number 1. And now the question is, what can Dylan Connor do in the 91? The driver with the most fast qualifier awards in Street Stock Showdown history. He currently sits at 11, looking for number 12 right here. Connor out of turn number 4, a little slideways. It comes across the stripe, and he jumps to the top of the board, a 9.83, 5 1/1000ths of a second faster than Carter Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth in the second spot. Still 2 drivers left to go. Peyton Hamlet, who we are glad to see back out here tonight in the 98. Hamlet had a pretty scary wreck this past weekend in his late model. I didn't see a video, but there's quite a bit of damage on that race card, but we're lucky to have Peyton with us in the field here tonight. Currently scored 16th quick. He's got his work cut out for him in the feature later on tonight. And it looks like Adam Fulford will wrap up qualifying and put it in the 8th spot. The invert tonight is a 7, which will put the 7 of Jackson McLaren, who qualified in the 7th spot, on the pole. And we will get ready for 74 laps. There is a setting that I have to adjust just really quick, so we'll let you guys take a peek at KG Media, who will be posting some pretty cool pictures and videos and whatnot of the Kalamazoo Clash tomorrow. We'll be right back in just a moment on the WD Broadcasting Network.
KG Media is your home for all things photography, race day social media, and more. Cody Geyer brings more than a decade of experience working with the top brands in short track racing. From individual photos to full race days, social media to PR, KG Media can make your race team, race track, or touring series stand out. For more information, go to marknews.org or visit KG Media on Facebook.
All right, we are ready to go racing now. I had to turn off voice chat so that way you guys could not hear the drivers as they went throughout the race. So let's look at our current point standings heading into this evening. 12 races in. Dylan Connor holds the top spot over Brandon Atkinson, but not by much, only 29 points the gap. And then Brandon Elvis third, 33 points back. So pretty close throughout your top three. Everybody else back behind is quite a ways back. I think your top three are your favorites in these final three races, but I don't think it's quite settled yet between Dylan Connor, Brandon Atkinson, and Brandon Elvis in the first three seasons of competition. Both of the champions in seasons past are in that list right there, so you can tell that experience pays off in the Street Stock Showdown. A lot of these drivers over 20 starts with the series. Dylan Connor making start 24 here tonight. Brandon Elvis making start 46 with the series. The most out of any driver in series history. We've got 19 cars on hand here tonight, the most we've had at Five Flags throughout seasons past. Last time we came, it was 15 drivers. In the race before that, we had 14 in season 1. Or season 2, rather. I'm excited to see what these drivers can do. They've got the extra horsepower that we've had all season long, and I really think that's going to play into their hands here tonight. We're going to see that top lane come into play, and it's going to be tough to pass on the bottom. But if you get a little bit too feisty on the top, you're going to burn up your stuff. It's 74 laps. You don't have a set of tires in the pits, so I'm excited to see what these drivers can do. The invert, like I said, going to be a 7 from our qualifying results. And these drivers finishing up the warm-up now. It's time to go racing. As the checkered flag flies on the warm-up, we'll prepare to go racing. And now it looks like the field has made their way to the starting grid. Let's look at our starting lineup for tonight's 74-lap feature event. We'll lead the pack Street Stock Showdown, starting on the pole after the invert of a 7. That's going to be the number 7 machine of Jackson McLaren. To his outside, in the number 54 machine, two-time champion and three-time winner this season, Brandon Elvis, going to roll off outside of row number 1. Inside row number 2, we've got a couple winners this season. Cole Baxter picked up the checkered at the Nashville Mini Circuit, and then Connor Knowlton got it done 2 weeks in a row at Southern National and Langley. We'll see if he can get it done from the 4th spot here tonight. Inside row number 3, season opener winner Gavin Gardner going to roll off in the 5th spot, alongside the winner a couple weeks ago at South Boston, Carter Hollingsworth in the number 28, going to start from the 6th spot. Fast qualifier Dylan Connor, after the inversion of 7, going to start in the 7th spot in the 91 machine. Into his outside driver, who was quite the story last week, the number 71 of Adam Fulford, going to roll off from the 8th position here tonight, looking for a better story at 5 Flags. Inside row number 5, Zach Murphy in the 29, going to start alongside Matthew Elsey Jr. in the number 27, rounds out our top 10 starters. We move back to row 6, where it's Andrew Turner in the 51, going to start alongside the 00 of Matt Borndren. Brandon Atkinson in the 15, going to have to come from the 13th spot here tonight. He'll roll off alongside Steven Oberstadt. And then out back, final 3 rows, it's Trey Ashworth, Peyton Hamlet, Noah Longyear, Logan Drumheller, and Mason Metzger going to bring this field to the green. Pace car makes their way down pit road, the field, through the restart zone, and for the first time tonight, we are racing in a big launch from the 7 of Jackson McLaren. McLaren was ready to go as the field got down into turn number 3, and already everybody mixing it up for position. Gavin Gardner put the crossover move on Brandon Elvis to try to take that 3rd spot, but leader of lap number 1, give it to your pole sitter, Jackson McLaren, in the number 7. He will lead out in front of Cole Baxter. It's back behind now. Gavin Gardner takes a look to the inside, trying to get underneath Brandon Elvis, but Elvis going to hold on the top side as things begin to spread out now. 24 of Connor Knowlton a little sideways. There was contact with Zach Murphy. That puts Adam Fulford on the bottom, 3 wide back behind him. That's a tight spot there. Everybody doing a nice job giving each other space as we are 3 laps in, and already a couple drivers starting to look a little bit slidey in these opening laps. Field makes their way down the back straightaway and into turns 3 and 4. Gardner underneath Brandon Elvis, trying to take that spot away. And now caution flag is out. Zach Murphy in the 29 goes around. And we have got the yellow flag out for the first time. Did not see exactly what happened down the backstretch. Watch the 29 up the road underneath Matthew Elsey Jr. right there. And then it looked like maybe contact before all that happened. Let's watch again. 29 and Murphy down into 1 and 2, gets into the back bumper of Knowlton. And then I think Atkinson just gets into the right rear of Murphy. Murphy does a good job saving that race car. Keeps it off the inside wall, but going to lose that track position here early on. Watch it one more time. On board with the 29. Yeah, did a good job keeping that car off the inside wall, but unfortunately going to be back to the 18th spot on the racetrack. Atkinson going to join him in the 15. And that will put it in the hands of Jackson McLaren in the number 7. Going to have to restart this race for the first time. He had a comfortable gap out front. Third spot, Brandon Elvis in the 54. Couple drivers up 3 positions, but nobody else really moving through the field just yet. Of course, your biggest losses so far being Zach Murphy and Brandon Atkinson. Unfortunately, those drivers going to have to come from a little bit deeper in the field now, but still early on, 8 laps into this 74-lap affair. The field will double up. We'll get ready to send them back racing. Still a long way to go here at 5 Flags. McLaren and Baxter side by side, and they go through the restart zone and back. Green flag racing, an early launch through the zone, and McLaren gets a good start on the bottom. Down through turns 1 and 2, everybody Double file once again, and down the back straightaway they go. Your top 8 right there, all double file. A couple cars way up the racetrack back behind. Mason Metzger in the 83 was way up on the top side. Logan Drumheller in the 5 had to hang on to it there as we've got a battle for the race lead. Cole Baxter not letting Jackson McLaren go easy in the number 7. Tried to keep it on the outside lane, but McLaren able to shut the door now as here comes Brandon Elvis to the inside in the 54. Elvis to the inside, Baxter on the outside. Trying to use that outside lane and keep the 54 of Elvis pushed down as there's a little contact there. Elvis into the left side of the 19. And now down into 1 and 2. The 54 of Elvis trying to use up as much racetrack as he can. He's a little bit loose. Here comes Gavin Gardner in the 55. Thought about 3 wide, but thought better of it. Down into the corner, the 54 of Elvis able to get that lane clear, but Cole Baxter on the outside still able to keep that top lane rolling. Down the back straightaway once again. Baxter holding that top lane. Elvis in the 54 on the inside, trying to use the shorter way around, but just not able to just yet. And Jackson McLaren likes what he is seeing in his rearview mirror. He's able to get over a half a second gap built up to these drivers battling for the second spot. As Elvis in the 54 sideways out of turn number 4 that time, there may have been contact through the center. And now Elvis up the racetrack to that second groove. He'll have company from Gavin Gardner in the 55, looking to his inside. See if Gardner can make the shorter way around the racetrack work. We're 15 laps in. The problems for the 91 of Dylan Connor, your points leader. He's blinking out pretty bad right there. I'm not sure how much longer he's going to be able to do that without it causing some sort of problem with the iRacing scoring. You can see him in front of Carter Hollingsworth every now and then popping in and out. And it looked like he may have dropped out of the event. I don't see the 91 machine on the racetrack at this current moment. So problems for your points leader. That will really tighten things up as we've got a battle for the 3rd spot on the racetrack. Gardner and Elvis side by side. This is allowing your top 2 to break away. Gardner once again down to the bottom side. Trying to make the shorter way around the racetrack work. You can just tell how patient you have to be on the bottom. Just not able to get a big run down the straightaways. And with how long the corners are, you can pull out in front. You have to get that run on the exit of the corner because there is a long exit here at Five Flags as you see both of them side by side. And as they're battling like this, that allows Carter Hollingsworth and Matthew Elsey Jr., everybody in this group back behind, to inch closer as there's contact between Gardner and Elvis. Gardner going to back out of it for now, try to regroup as the top 2 have broken away to over a second. Still plenty of time left in this one. We look back behind him, Trey Ashworth underneath Matt Borndren for the 9th spot on the racetrack. They've got Adam Fulford and Peyton Hamlet right back behind them. Everybody closer up inside of the top 10. This front group here on the back bumper of Gavin Gardner and Brandon Elvis. All just trying to hang on. They know that there's a lot of time left. Still 50 laps to go, which is a long time here at Five Flags. You can overheat the tires in about 5 laps of battling with somebody on the outside lane. So it's a very strategic race, very cat and mouse like game throughout this entire 74 lapper. You'll see drivers start to battle at different points and then fade later in the race because they've already used up some of the good in their tires. A lot of patience here early on. Not everybody wanting to charge to the front. If you look at the lap times, that last time around, Gavin Gardner, Carter Hollingsworth, some of the quicker cars on the racetrack. But still out front, Jackson McLaren showing the way. In his street stock showdown career, this is McLaren's 5th start in the series. Still looking for that first top 5 finish. He's got 2 top 10s, and those both came this season. But still trying to break the top 5, trying to find victory lane. As out back, no long year around, Logan Drumheller. Some shuffling in position starting to happen a little bit further back as we come back to 44 laps to go this time. Peyton Hamlet and Brandon Atkinson able to get by Adam Fulford. Atkinson in the 15, just about back up to the top 10 after that early contact with Zach Murphy. Battle still on for the 3rd spot. Gavin Gardner starting to put some more pressure on Brandon Elvis in the 54. Gardner looks to the inside. It's going to be tough for the 55 to get around. You can see just how good the top side is. As that time, 54, Brandon Elvis up the racetrack. Gavin Gardner going to get by in the 55. I think Elvis saw the speed that Gardner had there. Didn't want to put up too much of a fight at this point. There is still quite a ways to go. Now here comes Carter Hollingsworth to the inside. Hollingsworth in the 28. Looks to the inside of Brandon Elvis. Elvis trying to hold him tight, but Hollingsworth down to the inside. 28 car qualified 2nd in this one. Trying to work his way forward as we are just to the halfway point. Next time by. Hollingsworth and Elvis continue to battle. Elvis in 54 does not want to let Hollingsworth by as easily as he let Gardner by, because you can see the gap back behind. As soon as either one of these drivers loses any momentum, Matthew Elsey Jr. is going to be right there to pounce for the position. Hollingsworth doing a good job keeping the 28 machine down to the inside. But Elvis just able to get such a good run on corner exit. Hollingsworth not able to match up off the corner, and now here comes Matthew Elsey Jr. looking to the outside, trying to figure out which lane is going to be the succeeding lane, as there's a little contact there. Elvis off the wall a little bit, more contact down into 3 and 4. 54 of Elvis came off the wall that time and got into the 28's right side door down the backstretch. One more time down into 3, the 28 of Hollingsworth. To the left rear of Brandon Elvis, but the 54 going to be able to get the run up off. And he will hang on to the spot, as now we've got a battle for the race lead. Jackson McLaren in the number 7. Holding on to the race lead for now, but Cole Baxter is right there on his back bumper. Baxter has caught the 7 of McLaren and trying to get his 2nd victory of the season. Is now once again back behind him. Carter Hollingsworth in the 28 to the inside of Brandon Elvis. And now 3 wide back behind him. Matthew Elsey Jr. through the middle. Going to split the difference and sneak by Brandon Elvis through turns 1 and 2. Can he hold it up off the top side? He will. Move Carter Hollingsworth up to 4th. Move Matthew Elsey Jr. up to 5th. And now move Connor Knowlton by Brandon Elvis for the 6th spot. A lot of shuffling in position now. Here towards the front is battle for the lead heating up as well. Cole Baxter right there on the back bumper of Jackson McLaren. And now 30 laps to go. And McLaren is loose up off to the corner. Here comes Cole Baxter to the bottom. Baxter to the inside of McLaren for the top spot. While all of this is happening, Gardner and Hollingsworth close in like blood in the water. They are trying to get to your top 2 as we come back to 29 laps to go, and you can see the difference that time. 0.4 of a second, the difference in lap time, or 0.2 of a second rather. But Cole Baxter finally that time able to sneak by McLaren. I think McLaren saw how much time they were losing to Gavin Gardner and said, you know what, I'm going to slip back in line here, try to have something for the end of this race, because we still have 27 laps to go when we get back to the line. Still a long way to go here at 5 Flags. Now for the final spots in the top 10, Brandon Atkinson to the outside of Trey Ashworth. They've got Matt Borndren right up in front of them. 00 Borndren trying to hold that inside lane. Atkinson in the 15 trying to work the top side. Seeing some really good multi-groove racing is now for the 3rd spot. Here comes Carter Hollingsworth in the 28. Hollingsworth to the inside of Gavin Gardner. Oh, the 7 of Jackson McLaren way up the racetrack out of turn number 4. He's going to be swarmed by Gardner and Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth able to use McLaren as a little bit of a pick, and he's up the racetrack now. Everybody's slipping and sliding for the 2nd spot. 25 laps to go. And McLaren on the outside lane holding up the 55 of Gavin Gardner as Hollingsworth in the 28 into the wall. Everybody's swerving to avoid the 7 of McLaren as Hollingsworth going to escape with the 2nd spot. LC follows him behind in 3rd. And now Connor Knowlton and Gavin Gardner battle for 4th. 24, make it 23 laps to go this time for Cole Baxter. And he has got Carter Hollingsworth and Matthew Elsey Jr. hard charging back behind him to try to steal this victory. A little bit further back, Brandon Atkinson to the inside of Matt Borndren. This is for the 8th spot on the racetrack. Atkinson trying to work his way back to the front after that contact with Murphy earlier in the race. Back up inside of the top 10 for the driver's 2nd in the point standings. Adam Fulford looking to the inside now as well. But up front for the race lead, Cole Baxter in the 19 loose on the top side. Here comes Carter Hollingsworth to the inside for the race lead. Hollingsworth on the bottom, Baxter on the top side, trying to make the 19 blow as best as he can on the top. But the 28 of Carter Hollingsworth has got a lot of drive left in that race car. 20 laps to go. Can he get the job done? Don't count out that 27 of Matthew Elsey Jr., though. He's been right there on the tail of Carter Hollingsworth this whole time. His new leader out of 4, Carter Hollingsworth to the front. And Matthew Elsey Jr. going to follow him by as well. Cole Baxter trying to hang on to that 19 machine, but the time running out. Connor Knowlton and Gavin Gardner right there on the back bumper. And they will sneak to the inside as well. 18 laps to go here at 5 Flags. We have got a barn burner for the top 5 positions. As Knowlton gets by for 3rd, here comes Gavin Gardner with a big run in the 55. He had a lot of speed early in this one. I wouldn't count him out in the final 17 laps. And now for the top spot. Matthew LC Jr. still searching for his first Leave the Pack Street Stock Showdown win. He has got Carter Hollingsworth right in front of him. Look at the 15 of Brandon Atkinson up to the 6th spot. He's working his way forward. It would take a caution for the 15 if he wanted to be back in contention. But the 15 of Atkinson still got a lot left in the tank as we have 15 laps to go this time. Your top 4 all within a second. Down into 1. Hollingsworth has about a car length advantage over Matthew LC Jr. that time around. Hollingsworth the better lap of the 2, but the 27 closes the gap down into 3. Gavin Gardner back behind, still trying to find a way around Connor Knowlton in the 24. Knowlton not able to keep that car pinned down to the bottom as well as the 55 of Gardner, and that's allowing Gardner to show his nose to the inside and now opens the door up to the bottom for the 3rd spot. Connor Knowlton going to allow Gavin Gardner with his full head of steam to try and go get the top 2. 13 laps to go that time around. Once again, Hollingsworth just a little bit quicker than Matthew LC Jr. But we have 12 laps to go this time. 12 to go for Hollingsworth. Back behind Cole Baxter, trying to hang on to the final spot in the top 5. He's got Brandon Atkinson to his outside, Matt Bordrin to his inside. They split him down the back straightaway. Baxter back to the 7th spot. Here comes Trey Ashworth underneath and move the 15 of Brandon Atkinson back up into the top 5. What a drive from the driver's second in the point standings. Able to wheel that car back up to the front just about. They're about 4 seconds behind your top 4, who come back to 10 laps to go. 10 laps remain here at Five Flags. Carter Hollingsworth trying to pick up win number 2 this season. Matthew LC Jr. trying to pick up his first career Leave the Pack Street Stock Showdown victory. Will it come at Five Flags? This time, out of 4, the 28 machine of Hollingsworth a little bit loose up on the top. LC closes the gap. He's right there. Less than a car length separating him now, and Hollingsworth up the racetrack just a little bit. The 27 cuts down the track, gets a run down the back straightaway. All over the back bumper is LC in the 27. He's loose on the top, though. Loses a little bit of ground out of turn number 4, and the caution flag flies. Trouble for Jackson McLaren in the number 7. And it turns 1 and 2. There's damage on the front of that race car. But the caution flag is out for the 2nd time this race. And it's for the driver who led a significant amount of laps early on. Let's watch what happened to the 7 of McLaren. This is down into 1. It looked like the car just maybe got out from underneath of him. Locked that car down on the bottom side. And I think maybe tried to get it back going, but just a little bit too much for him to handle. These cars get really free the later into the race that you are, and the more heat you have on the right rear tire, and you can see right there just a byproduct of that car running so many laps. And now this will be an interesting battle between Carter Hollingsworth and Matthew LC Jr. Don't count out Gavin Gardner and Connor Knowlton. How about Brandon Atkinson in the 15? Does he have anything left? We'll be over, I think we'll be just at 5 to go when we come back to the restart. I think there's enough time for maybe Atkinson, maybe Knowlton to find something here if they've got anything left. But they're going to have to go right on the restart. Field this time going to double up behind the iRacing.com pace car, and the 1 to go signal going to be displayed. Carter Hollingsworth going to launch from the inside lane. Matthew LC Jr. on the top in the 27. If the 27 can get a good launch and be even with the 28 of Carter Hollingsworth, I think he may be able to hold him off on the top, but he's got to go into the first set of corners on the outside of the 28 of Hollingsworth. Let's watch what happens here as they go through the restart zone, and we are back racing with 4 laps to go. 4 to go here at Five Flags. Great launch from the 28 of Carter Hollingsworth. He gets out to about a car length lead over Matthew Elsey Jr. and Gavin Gardner. Now Elsey in the 27 has to use the outside lane. He's got Gavin Gardner to his inside. 3 laps to go this time. Is there enough time for Elsey or Gardner to track down the 28 of Hollingsworth? Through turns 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. Hollingsworth able to get a little bit of a gap built up. Only a car length separating though. And caution flag is out. Steven Oberstadt in the number 3. Spun around in turn number 3. And that puts us under caution for the 3rd time in this race, and that puts us into green-white checkered territory. Green-white checkered territory here. We'll see what happened to the number 3 of Steven Oberstadt. Like Baxter up in front of him, got a little loose up off of 2, and I think Andrew Turner in the 51 just had nowhere to go when Oberstadt made that little adjustment in the steering wheel. And that sent Oberstadt around. Let's watch it back one more time on board with the number 3. Yeah, just a little bit of a argument over space right there, and the 3 ends up in the outside wall. And that'll be a tough end to Steven Oberstadt's night. Was running just outside of the top 10. And it looks like this time, Field going to get the 1 to go signal. They'll have 2 attempts at the green-white checkered here. It'll be Carter Hollingsworth versus Matthew Elsey Jr. Hollingsworth going for win number 3 in his career. Elsey going for win number 1. Who takes it in the final 2-lap shootout? Hollingsworth, the control car. The 27 of Elsey gets a good jump as well. Green flag is back out, and we're back racing with 2 laps to go down into turns 1 and 2. Through the first set of corners, the 27 of Elsey tries to use that car in every bit of racetrack that's available, but not going to be able to do it through turns 3 and 4. White flag is out this time by. Final opportunity for anybody to get by the 28 of Carter Hollingsworth. Is there enough left in the tank? Gardner in the 55 to the inside of Elsey for the 2nd spot. Down into turns 3 and 4. And for the 3rd time in his career, Carter Hollingsworth is a Street Stock Showdown winner. And it comes at 5 flags. Hollingsworth's 2nd victory of the season. Elsey able to hang on to the 2nd spot in the 27. Your hard charger in this race. One of a couple drivers, actually 4 drivers all tied for the hard charger, but Elsey going to get the tiebreaker by finishing 2nd. Gavin Gardner comes home 3rd. Connor Knowlton 4th. Brandon Atkinson 5th. Matt Bondren comes home in the 6th spot. Trey Ashworth 7th. Adam Fulford 8th. Andrew Turner 9th. And Logan Drumheller. That rounds out your top 10. And now let's talk to our winners here tonight. We got our race winner up in the booth. Carter Hollingsworth, 2nd victory of the season. How do you feel after that one at 5 flags?
Man, that was good. It feels good to get another one, man. We've had some really bad luck. We've been putting ourselves in probably the best spots to win a race, and you know, racing happens, and to get this one at one of probably my top 3 favorite tracks is really good. just gotta give a shout out to everybody racing McLean. That was very fun.
Yeah, there have been races that you've won, maybe not in this league, but across your iRacing career that you've had to, that you started on pole, maybe led most of the race, didn't have to earn it as much. This race, you came from the 6th spot on the grid, and you had to drive to the front and work for all those passes. Does that make this one feel just a little bit better?
Oh yeah, 100%. I was honestly told Noah Longier before we started. I was like, man, really feel like starting in the back would be pretty fun passing everybody. But starting 6th was definitely a challenge. We just saved tire and just waited. I feel like me and Matthew went a little bit too early, and it started slipping out at the end of that green flag run, and I was getting a little nervous that Gavin and Connor was gonna start pushing really hard since they let us by. So I don't really know what those cautions were for, but man, you just got to be really good on the restarts, and that's just the key to this.
Yeah, definitely had to be good on the restarts there at the end to seal the deal. But second win of the season in the Street Stock Showdown. Who do you have to thank for second checkered flag?
I just got to thank you for putting on the league. You're a solo man doing this, so it's really a lot of pressure and a lot of stress. And just got to thank Mearsome Craft Performance, Levi Photography, WDBroadcastingNetwork.com, and Josh Cottle for everything he does on the open setup side.
All right. Well, congratulations on win number 2 this season. First time you've won 2 races in a season, so you've got that for you going now. But maybe you can make it 2 more in these final 2 races.
Yeah, now it's time to go have a fun time in tech.
There you go. All right, race fans, that was your winner here tonight. Carter Hollingsworth picked up his 2nd of the season. This driver that we'll talk to now, so close to his first victory with the series. 2nd place here tonight for Matthew LC Jr. Well, I talked to you just before that final restart. I said, you need to go on this restart. You went, but I think just not enough time to really get that 27 wound up with the whole green-white checkered.
Yeah, no, that second time we definitely had a lot better restart. Just the outside did not have as much grip as the bottom. So, you know, we were even all the way down the straightaway and then right into 1. I mean, the rear end kind of kicked out. I think the rear started to give out on me. We did a ton of saving this race, but I don't think we saved just enough for the end of the race.
Yeah, it definitely looked like the cars were a handful here tonight. It didn't look like it took long to get them sideways and out of shape and use up too much of that tire. But still, you guys did a good job. You and Carter 1-2 here tonight. Who do you have to thank for a podium finish in the final 3 races of the season, giving you some momentum for championship?
My parents, you know, their support is unbelievable, and I definitely appreciate you streaming all this and doing this sick rap that I constantly get second in. So hopefully we can put it in victory lane sooner than later.
Yeah, we've got 2 races left this season, Lanier and maybe, hopefully, Winchester. What is it going to take to put the 27 in victory lane in one of those 2 races?
You know, big consistency, saving tires. I think a lot of the times earlier this season, we burned up our stuff a little too early while leading. Even seeing the leaders tonight burn up their stuff way too early. I think saving is going to be the biggest key for the rest of the year.
For sure. Well, it sounds like you've got a plan going into these final 2 races. Hopefully we can see the 27 a little bit more and maybe in victory lane. But congratulations on P2 here tonight, and we'll see you in the morning.
Thank you.
All right, that was Matthew LC Jr., 2nd place finisher here tonight. Now let's talk to 3rd place finisher. Just about had P2 here tonight. 3rd place finisher Gavin Gardner. After that final sequence of green-white checkers, looked like you were about to get 2nd until that final corner, just a little bit loose off of 4, but still a good run for the 55 machine here tonight. How do you feel about P3?
Yeah, I definitely could have gotten better. We had that long run, and I started reeling, and then Carter and LZ. When I was sitting in 3rd behind Baxter and McLaren, I saw them starting to get sideways and burning their stuff up. And then I saw Carter reeling me in, and there was still like over 25 to go. So I figured I would let Carter and LZ by. Connor followed them, but I was fine with that. And then we got by McLaren and Baxter. And then I was able to get by Connor pretty quickly. He figured it was better to let me go and let me burn my stuff up. So props to him for trying it. I saw Carter starting to get loose, and I reeled him right in. And then I started getting loose over driving and getting to him. And then as soon as yellow came out, I knew I was in trouble, because the top definitely wasn't there, but it was good enough to hold for 2 laps, which is obviously good enough for green white checkered. I thought I was going to get LZ, and then I hit the flat coming off of 4, trying to cheat as much as I could off to get low. Just got too low, and then Connor tried pushing me to the line, and then he hit me while I was sideways, so it looked even worse. But no, all in all, good night. Proud of this thing. I didn't know where it was going to be tonight. I didn't have much confidence after practice. I think it qualified at 3rd, so that was good. Yeah, it was a good night. Huge thank you to JTT, Twisted Speed, Connor all night. Yeah, I think it was a successful night. It was definitely a fun race. A lot better than I thought it was going to be. It was just fast, and how hard could you save tire while keeping speed, which I found interesting. I love saving tire. So it was a fun race, but wish it could have been 2 spots better for sure. But I definitely don't mind it.
Yeah, it's hard to complain too much about P3 at the end of the day, but like you said, obviously want to get 2 spots more. You've won already this season, and you want number 2. We've got 2 more races and 2 more opportunities for you to get number 2. Lanier and what could be Winchester, hopefully. What's it going to take to put the 55 back in victory lane in one of those 2?
Well, hopefully Lanier goes well. I don't have much experience. I kind of have experience there, kind of not. I don't have many good laps there, so I don't have much confidence. But hopefully we can take advantage of a new track at Winchester. I would love for that to happen. I'd love to go win that. It looks like a fun track. So we'll see. I don't know how Lanier is gonna go. Don't know how Winchester's gonna go. We're kind of in the unknown. So hopefully they go well, and we'll see what happens.
Well, I guess it's better to be unknown and have an open mind than hold resentment from the last time you went to the racetrack. So go in there with an open mind. We'll see what the 55 can do, but congratulations one more time on P3 here this evening.
Absolutely appreciate it. Oh, thank you, Coleman Designs, for this beautiful wrap. This thing is amazing. Justin Coleman, I don't know where you were tonight, and I'm really annoyed that you didn't show up. Thank you, Justin, and thank you, Winston.
Yep. Have a good night.
You as well.
That was Gavin Gardner, your 3rd place finisher, as he said. Justin Coleman wrapping that car. He's wrapped a lot of the street stocks in the field, and they look good on a weekly basis. Let's look at our final finishing results from this one. We just talked to our top 3, Carter Hollingsworth, Matthew L.C. Jr., and Gavin Gardner. Rounding out the top 5, in the 4th spot, it's Connor Knowlton. And in the 5th position, it's Brandon Atkinson, Matt Borndren, Trey Ashworth, Adam Fulford, Andrew Turner, and Logan Drumheller round out the top 10. Top 15, it's Cole Baxter, Brandon Elvis, Jackson McLaren, Zach Murphy, and Steven Oberstadt. And then rounding out our field, in the 16th spot, Peyton Hamlet. 17th, our points leader with that internet trouble here tonight, comes home in the 17th spot. Noah Longier in the 18 comes home 18th. And Mason Metzger in the 83 in the 19th spot wraps this one up. As we said, 2 more races this season. Lanier 100 lapper next week. The second 100 lap 3/8 mile race of the season. Before we close things off at hopefully Winchester. We've said hopefully so many times, but have yet to see an official confirmation, iRacing, that the Speedway will be coming out next build. So we'll see in the coming weeks, but thank you guys for tuning in to 5 Flags here tonight. We got 2 races left in the Street Stock Showdown season, so don't miss those races. Hit that red subscribe button so you don't miss those races or any other live streams we've got on the WD Broadcasting Network. But thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys tomorrow at the Kalamazoo Clash. If you guys don't have plans, if you're from the Michiana area, see you in Kalamazoo. Other than that, thank you guys for watching one more time. I'm your host, Winston Deal, signing it off. Peace.